Hello. Welcome along to episode 176 of Adventures in Pop. My name is Simon Jacobs, and if I'm looking a little sweaty today, it's because it is actually very warm indeed. It's the middle of the afternoon as I'm recording this. I've got my window open. It's still pretty blooming warm here in the wilds of West London. But enough about me. Let's talk about, in this episode, I want to talk about a independent singer-songwriter kind of conundrum. We've covered this before, probably in a slightly different way, but it's worth just having a talk through this subject, and it's really about prioritizing your time. What is it you should be, devoting the most of your time to, and in what way does that change, when various circumstances alter? So let me explain. I'm in quite a nice position. It's a good conundrum. I'm in a nice position at the moment where I've got a bunch of singles to release for this next album, which is this dancey shaped album where the first single is out next week called You Do You. The album's going to be called Might As Well Dance. And I've got a whole bunch of singles all ready to go. Yeah, and they might need a bit of polishing up before they're released, but essentially they're all there. I know what those 12 tracks are. And then beyond that, I've got a whole bunch more tracks, which I suppose would then go forward to make up some of the album afterwards. So it just occurred to me the other day, I was walking along thinking, if I didn't write another song for the next 2 years, I'd be all right, actually. I'd still have new material that I'm happy with to keep releasing, kind of month by month over the next 2 years without actually bothering. And I think I was beginning to be able to talk myself into being lazy. That was where I was heading, I think, was thinking, oh, well, I don't need to bother with anything then. And on top of that, there are quite a few interesting YouTube type videos for, independent singer-songwriters, musicians like me, where they will quite often talk about the fact that singer-songwriters are quite good at doing the work of writing the songs and singing them, hence the term singer-songwriter, and are probably not so good at the marketing and the getting in touch with people and sending stuff and thinking about your art that goes with your music and what's the theme and the concept and how it all sticks together and etc., building up your fan base and being in touch. And I kind of agree with that. I think that is the bit that you come to and you realise at the beginning that you know absolutely nothing. Well, it's certainly in my case. And you've got to learn it. So there is that kind of pressure that says, don't just stay in your comfort zone. Excuse me. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good girl. So there's that pressure that says, don't just stay in your comfort zone, doing the things that you find easy, like writing songs, and ignore all the marketing and the really harder work stuff of getting your music out there, of being in touch with Spotify playlist curators, trying to work out how you're going to promote your music, etc., getting it all out on YouTube as well as on Spotify. And I think there is something to be said for that. I think there is some wisdom in that argument. But I wouldn't want to take it so far as to say, therefore, just forget about the songwriting for a while and just concentrate on all the other stuff. Because here's the thing. I think that songwriting sometimes is a bit like going to the gym. I think if you leave it for a long time, when you next go back, you realise that you're way behind where you were. You've actually gone backwards. You need to remind yourself, how to do the things that you do, where to start, how to begin composing, what subject are you trying to take on. And I think the more you write songs, in a sense, the easier it gets, and you get into a rhythm of writing music. And I think actually, if you lose that, it's really hard to pick it up. Or at least if you do pick it up, I think it takes a little while, and you might find that you've written a bunch of songs that are very mediocre as you're getting back into your songwriting rhythm. So my advice for myself, and probably for you if you're in the same situation, is don't stop at any stage writing the songs. And after all, those songs are the kind of raw material around which everything else is based. There's no point being brilliant at marketing and connecting with your fan base and all the rest of it if actually the music's dried up and you've got nothing else to release. The music comes first, doesn't it, really? And everything else is built around it. So don't take a year off. Don't even take a month off. I think it's quite useful just to find some time, virtually every day, to sit down and do a bit of composing. And it may go nowhere. And in a way, it's nice because you've got no pressure, because you've got a backlog of music you can still release. But I think you've got to keep that skill of writing songs, which I don't think anyone takes for granted. I certainly don't. You've got to keep it. You've got to keep it going. And I think if you leave it too long, rather than being refreshed and coming back with brand new energy, I think it takes a little while to build it up again to get back to where you were. So I would just always suggest keep going. And the thing is as well, you might surprise yourself by writing some brilliant things while you're not really needing to, and that's fantastic. And if, like me, I mean, if I do that, I feel good. I actually feel quite happy that I've added something good into the mix, into the bunch of songs that are waiting to at some point be released. So look, that's it. Nothing particularly profound, but I'm just saying, don't have a holiday. Just keep going every day. Work until you drop. And you have to find a way of doing all that marketing stuff and the bits that maybe you don't like so much and you're not so good at. You've got to just do it anyway and keep the songwriting going. Now look, that's it on this subject. I just want to say next week, new single. And in fact, in the next couple of days, I'm going to be back with the first exclusive play of that new single with a video, which is just about done. And we'll do that, as I say, in a few days' time. And then next week, the single comes out. And then a few weeks after that, not only will there be obviously a second single from me, but there'll be a first single from a new batch of songs from Gold Hall Foxes. And they're good. I really like those. And so we're going to be releasing sort of alongside my own tracks, the Gold Hall Foxes tracks, over the next year. God, what a lot there is to look forward to. So you take it easy, don't get too hot, don't get caught in a thunderstorm, and I will talk to you very soon because we'll be back with the video for You Do You. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.